This is day, I think, 30 something of Confessions of a Wild Dreamer. That was the 100-day project. And for the first time throughout this whole entire project, I missed a day. So I missed yesterday because life just got all that bad. So I missed yesterday because life just became life. And I needed a day off and I needed a day away and I wanted a day to just be with my wife and not really have to worry about work after working, after doing a little bit of work in the morning. And I decided to take the day off. And I got home about 9:30 and I thought about going live and I was like, you know what, Brandy, this is a moment for you to be intentional about what it means to take a break from something that you said you were going to do consistently, but then also a chance and an opportunity to build the return muscle, right? So it's not that we miss a day or skip a day or, oh, yay. Well, I'm glad you made it. So it's not that like we skip a day or we miss a day that really, really matters. It's how we return back to it, how quickly we return back to that thing that we said we were going to do consistently, and how much we build that muscle. And for me, that's really, really important, right? I have spent majority of my creative life like giving myself ultimatums, like living in an ultimatum of it's got to be all of this or else it's got to be 100 days consistently or else it doesn't count. It has to be 100 days consistently. Otherwise, if I miss a day, then I'm just going to stop completely. It's been like an all or nothing thing for me pretty much my whole entire life. But one of the things that I'm actively working on is building that return muscle of being and giving myself grace. And I think uh, the whole cancer odyssey that happened last year really, really nailed that needing it to be a lesson moment in me because I had to give myself a lot of grace, right? I had to give myself and my body and my mind and my spirit like a lot of grace to just do what it needed to do, untethered to work, untethered to wild dreams, untethered to anything. But then when I felt like it was safe enough and I was in the right mindset to return, I knew I had to return because I knew that life was a lot shorter than what I had thought it was, you know? And you always think you're going to live forever until you're faced with your own mortality and you're like, holy fuck, time really is limited. Like death is around the corner at any moment. And that moment right there really solidified how I needed to, one, give myself grace, but two, also build that return muscle. Like, what was it going to be like for me to return? And then how was I going to return back to it? Right? Was I going to return back to it the same? There's no possible way because I just went through this whole like cancer journey. Like, I wasn't going to come back the same person that I left. And the same thing is true here and now and returning back to this project, this commitment, this process, this sharing that I absolutely love doing. How am I returning to it differently? Because I'm different now than when I left. And it's still wrapped in honesty. It's still wrapped in, sharing the process. But now I know, having shown up after a day being missed, that this really, really does matter, right? Like, I really, really love doing this. You all really, really matter. And so I came on here thinking I was going to talk about the writing process, but obviously this is what wanted to come through. So honoring that, the invitation feels like it is for us here today, for all of us, is wrapping our head around this idea of returning. What does it look like to return to a project or a piece of writing that we said we were going to work on every single day? And then, life happens and we miss a day, we miss 2 days, we miss 3 days. How do we return? How quickly do you return? How often do you return to it, right? Do you do what I used to do as far as like an absolute of like all or nothing? I'm either going to do it 100 days or I'm not going to do it at all. I'm just going to give up. And really getting to know what is your pattern? What is your process of returning to something when there's a lapse, when there's a break? And it's kind of like, if you're working out, they say that it's easier to do once you have momentum and you go day in and day out, and then you miss a day and you're like, everything goes haywire because you miss a day, but it's all about like how quickly you get back into the gym. So how quickly can you get back into your art project, your writing project, um, your live project, whatever it is that you are committing yourself to? How quickly can you come back in it? And that is the invitation today, is to really get to know and see and feel into what that looks like for you. So I hope that that was helpful. I loved y'all and I missed y'all yesterday. I missed y'all so much, but let me show you one of the things that I got in our little outing excursion. We went to Home Goods. Yes, you're right back here in present. Look at this little tea thing. How I'm so obsessed with this little mushroom. It kind of feels like Alice in Wonderland. Like all I need is like to put like a little caterpillar on here, which I think I might do. And it's very like a who, are, a you. So I wanted to share that with you. That was one of the reasons why I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. We had a gift card. I was like, let's just go have some fun. Like, let's relieve some pressure. It is adorable. It's so fucking cute. And there's two of them. So I'm like, my wife could have one, but I'm like, no, they're both mine. So only child syndrome. All right, friends. I love y'all so, so much. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm so happy to be back. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye, friends.